And welcome back, folks. This is Colonel Freeze bringing you yet another set of matches from the Pandemic Legion StarCraft 2 tournament. And we're going to get right down to it with the opponents. Here in the top right-hand corner, we have the purple Zerg, Dunning-Kruger, also known as Emsigma, and I will refer to him as Emsigma for the rest of the game. But in the bottom left-hand corner, the victor in her match against Wrath Telkin, MissEmopants, the green Protoss. We're going to have a PvZ. One of my favorite matches to both play and watch and cast. And it looks like MissEmopants is going to go for the Forge Fast Expand, or at least put a badly positioned pylon to that effect in her natural. Meanwhile, Emsigma's just going to drone up. He's going to send out a scout, maybe? Yeah, we're going to see a scout to go confirm her position. And all standard level play from the Zerg as we get these opening moments out of the way. But let's take a in-depth look at the players. Emsigma is I believe he's either a high platinum or diamond Zerg player on the Euro region ladder. A very good player. And his opposition, MissEmopants, I think she's silver, either silver or gold. Probably silver in the same Euro ladder as the Protoss, so a little bit of a skill discrepancy here, and we've been seeing a lot of that in the tournament. But you know, it gives these newer players a good experience at actually seeing standard builds and reacting to them. So we see a 15 pool go down for Emsigma, completely standard, and it's probably going to be followed up by a 15 or 16 hatchery at his natural. Meanwhile, for MissEmopants, a Forge finally going down and completing. And a little bit of a harass from Emsigma. And another pylon, and another photon cannon. And, oh, look at this from Emsigma. He started a hatchery, canceled it, and is now going to build an evolution chamber on the creep that was there momentarily to completely block the natural. So MissEmopants is going to be forced to make a pylon and make a cannon and just generally be very, very delayed in her attempt to expand. And back home at the Zerg, we have a 16 hatchery as I predicted in the natural, completely standard play from the Zerg. And Emo's probe is just going to sit there and watch, I guess. Not very entertaining watching a big bulbous sack expand into a larger bulbous sack, but whatever. And yep, there's the cannon drop, and there's the evolution chamber that's sitting where her natural should go. And even though it is going to start dying pretty soon from being off the creep, she's got to take that out and clear it. So a gateway going down, and another cannon. And let's discuss how a Forge Fast Expand is actually supposed to work against Zerg, because this is not it whatsoever. You generally want to have your pylon down at 9, obviously, in your natural. Not really here so much at all. You generally want to have it in that general area where I highlighted, just enough so that you can get a decent amount of coverage. Actually, even on Antigua, I don't care for putting the Forge, as she takes out the evolution chamber, I don't care for putting the pylon so far front. Generally try and do my blocking in this area, and use the Nexus as part of the wall. But that's neither here nor there. And the point is you want to have a Forge down at 14, and you want to probe up to 17 food, and then drop a Nexus before dropping a cannon or a gateway or any of this other shit. And either because that she got evolution chamber blocked in her natural, which you don't see very often, or just that was her plan in the first place, Emo built some pylons, she built some cannons, she built a gateway before getting that Nexus up, and that very much defeats the point of a Forge Fast Expand, because you're not fast expanding. Anyway, we see the Cyber coming out, although Emo has no gas yet, so the Warp Gate tech itself is going to be delayed, and we're seeing a lot of errors in the build order and the production from Emopants. Meanwhile, back at the Zerg, Emsigma is getting saturated nicely in his natural. He's spreading creep with his queens. He has an evolution chamber coming out at his main this time, and he has gotten a third. So again, standard play from the Zerg, very sharp, very tight. And I'm going to stop using things like sharp and tight because it can be misconstrued as sexual metaphors by all of the perverts in Pandemic Legion. and 2 additional gates, and a robo going down for Emopants. And she does have relatively decent probe count. 27 versus Emsigma's 32 on 3 bases, so Emo not doing too badly on drone production, but she still is significantly behind in economy. And the other thing is that her blocking of the wall is not complete either. Generally, you want to have a zealot inhabiting that last crack to where your units will eventually roll out from, and set to hold positions so that Zerglings cannot run by. Now with 2 cannons, it's going to be difficult for Zerglings to run by without significant amount of damage, and she does have a 3rd, so I don't think that would have been a wise choice for MissEmopants anyway. But that's neither here nor there. We're focusing on actually doing a little bit of instruction and trying to get players to forge fast expand correctly. And a robotics bay going down for Emo, so she's going to go for a 2-base Colossus push, 3 gates so far. But she's so far behind in economy versus Emsigma. Let's take a look at the economy tab. Not too far behind in harvesters actually, 37 versus 34, but Emsigma is on 3 bases, and I gotta believe, yep, he's got more drones coming over and he'll have more in production. And creep spread is beginning to move out, and we should see creep spread well across this map very shortly. The probe is going to come and check to see if that 3rd is down, and she does confirm that it is. And a 2nd Evo chamber for Emsigma, so I don't think we're going to see roaches in it at any time. Well, maybe not at any time, but we're not going to see roaches too soon, as he does tech up to Hive. I'm sorry, to Lair. And he has a few Zerglings piddling around here, making sure that no 3rd goes down. And Emo just now starting Warp Gate tech. That is a significant error. It is 9 minutes and 40 seconds into the game, and Warp Gate tech is not completed, just now started. And she has a Colossus in production, she has Thermal Lance being researched, and +1 armor on the way. As well as the Twilight Council going down. And since she has no Stalkers, this Overlord is just going to come through and see literally everything that's going on. As Emopants does drop 2 proxy pylons, however. Let's see what else is coming out for Emsigma. No, just more upgrades. +1 melee, +1 carapace, and infestation pit going down. Interesting. And there is literally no pressure being put on Emopants on the Zerg, and that is a big problem, as a macro hatch goes down for Emsigma. Let's see, let's try to find it. There it is. You can't let a Zerg be unmolested for 11 minutes and expect to prevail, at least in the econ game, or in any aspect of the game, rather. As we see a 4th going down at this position, and a Spire coming out for Emsigma, so we're going to see some Mutal play very shortly. 16 Harvesters going out as Emsigma tries to take an even bigger econ lead. And we will see the Harvester count pop up significantly. There we go. It's got 68 now to Emopants' 50, and he is on 4 bases while Emo is on 2. So that's not going to bode well. As Emo eventually does start assembling her army, she's not, however, producing quickly. And she's still using manual production from her gates without transferring into warp gates. So, yeah, I don't have any words for that. That's really bad. Even though the supply count is the same right now, 96 for Emopants and 102 for Emsigma. It's not looking good for Emopants. Good creep spread from Emsigma, though not as much as I would have thought. But he's going to push out more Zerglings. He's going to get some upgrades. And he's going to... Oh, okay, we have a Nidus Canal. And a Nidus Worm is burrowing into Emopants' main, and unfortunately for her, her army is rolled out, as she has not noticed that yet. So this could be a big problem for Emopants. We're going to watch these Zerglings pop out of the Nidus Canal momentarily. Here they go, 1 Colossus at the base, and it's going to do some damage, and she'll turn those probes on the Zerglings. But a lot of probes are dying. The Zerglings are going to shift fire and take out that Colossus, as well as continue to harass the probes, and that Nidus is just belching more Zerglings in. But we do have a push from Emopants, Stalkers, Zealots, and 2 Colossus, and the 2 Colossus are randomly fighting an assimilator. And she's going to continue to push in. She did sack the completely undroned hatchery. She's going to push in and try and get some more damage out of this. But 10 mutas and 22 lings on the way from Emsigma, and I don't think she's going to have enough anti-air to deal with that many mutas, especially with no sentries for Guardian Shield. The Queen does go down, the hatchery does go down, and the drones will retreat, but Emopants doing decent amount of damage to this push, but she's about to get hosed by these Mutalisks. And here we go, we do have the Zerglings / Mutalisks, and those Colossus are getting hit by the Spore Crawler, actually, and they're going to be brought down by the combination of the Spore Crawler and the Mutas, so that's bad juju for Emo. Not really focusing fire, and she's going to get overwhelmed by those Mutalisks now. We take a look back here, this creep spread coming out of the Nidus Canal. The Nexus did go down, significant damage was done with those Zerglings, who are finally cleaned up by Zealot Warpin International. But unfortunately for Emopants, though she did do a significant amount of damage, these mutas are going to pretty much roam free, considering she does not have any anti-air right now other than 4 Stalkers. Way too many Zealots in production from her. And the supply count, 105 in Emsigma's favor versus Emopants 58. And here we go. We're going to see those Mutalisks come in, and they're going to take out the Robotics Bay first for some reason. Well, I would have... okay, I guess it's not too bad a call. Here come the Zealots and the Stalkers, but that's not going to be enough. And they're going to get decimated here by this Muta Blob. And that is going to be it for Emopants, I have to believe. Yep, all anti-air is gone. And there's the GG, so MissEmopants playing rather sloppily. Not putting any pressure on the Zerg and allowing him to expand at one point to 5 bases. He's gonna... I'm sorry, 4 bases. Yeah, 4 bases. He's going to lose this first set, and we will have Game 2 here of the Pandemic Legion StarCraft 2 tournament momentarily. Stay tuned.